Flora, the Garden Edit Mother's Day collection from Seint Beauty. That's what we're going to be talking about today. You guys, there are some videos that make me so excited to film. This is one of them. Immediately when Seint sent over the information, I was in Messenger with my Seint bestie, Sarah, and I was like, okay, girl, what do you think? And she was like, yes. And I couldn't agree more. I am so excited to share with you this collection that's coming for Mother's Day, and a little sneak here. It hits. This collection is one of those that feels elevated but simple. It's elegant, it's sophisticated, it's easily giftable, it's easily receivable. I think you guys are gonna be so excited. It speaks to what I would consider like feedback that Seint has received on what people wanna see, and they literally nailed it in this aesthetically amazing full collection. We have 4 new lip oils, but wait, they are an extension to our shade line, but different. I can't wait to share that with you. 4 beautiful floral palettes and 4 eyeshadow collections, 4 quads. These are existing shades that have been paired together at a huge discount, and they are paired in the perfect way. Oh, not only in tone, but in the way that you would easily be able to apply these. So if you are not somebody who can like see, this is how I want to use these different eyeshadows, these collections were created for you. And that is also what makes them so simple to gift. But it doesn't end there. To go along with the palettes and these beautifully curated eyeshadow collections, there are 4 discounted brushes to help you get the perfect eye look. You guys, I couldn't be more excited about this video. I hope you are too. Grab some coffee. We got details to share, swatches to show, and we need to do an eye look. So let's get into it. Let's start with the collection information. What do you need to know? This collection, Flora, the Garden Edit, is going to be launching on April 30th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. It will be available while supplies last or until May 10th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. At that time, the lip oils and the palettes will stay until they are no longer available. But any discounts, which you're receiving a steep discount on the curated collection, as well as the discounts on the brush, those will end abruptly on May 10th. So if you're somebody who likes to receive information in writing, take your time and really go through it, in the description box below is my newsletter. Be sure to subscribe. All the details, all the swatches, all the pictures, all the information is always in that newsletter. So that's one easy way for you to collect the information. Now let's talk about the collection itself. Let's start with the palettes. They are gorgeous. They are all floral themed. There are 4. I purchased 1. I'm gonna pop the rest up here on the screen so that you can see them, but they are only available in, that's my notes, because there's a lot of info. Okay, they are only available in the palette 4, which means you're gonna have the mirror and it's going to fit 4 full-size tins or 8 half-size tins. And all of our eyeshadows are half-size, or obviously you can combine 4 eyeshadows with 2 full-size, whatever it is that you like. But ladies, check this pattern out. Now this one right here is Keepsake. This is the one that I was most drawn to because I actually have some of these flowers in my garden, but I thought all of them were absolutely stunning. It was actually really hard to pick. So I'm gonna pop these on the screen here. We also have Mother, Kindred, and Always. So what's gonna be going inside the palette? I had to grab my notes because there's a lot of details here. Okay, so we have 4 pre-curated eyeshadow collections. And if I don't use one of them today in this video, I promise you not only will looks be in the newsletter, but I will also be doing some shorter form content so that you can see how you compare colors together on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook. So wherever it is that you prefer to follow me, you're gonna get all of the information. That I can assure you. But I only got 2 eyeballs and I gotta go somewhere after this. So I was thinking maybe just 1 look today so I can leave my house looking somewhat normal. Fair enough. Let's start with the Villa collection. This is described as a cool, plum, and neutral collection. The shades include Revival, Soulmate, Basic, and Coco. You guys, it's stunning. The price point on all of these is the same. It's $39 for the US, which is a $17 savings. Canadian, it is $55, which is a $25 savings. And in the UK, it is $41 with a $19 savings. You guys, it's so good. The beauty of Seint is that you get to choose like individual colors that you want to keep in your palette because they speak to you. But oftentimes people struggle knowing, well, what do I pair together? Well, listen, these 4 collections are awesome. They do the work for you. They are also our really popular shades and they're discounted. I mean, Next up we have Manor, which is described as a warm terracotta and golden themed look. It includes Zion, Bright Eyes, Drift, and Butterscotch. Same price point. Third, we have the Terrace collection. This is our pinks and neutrals. It is Claire, On Wednesday, Gilded, and Cafe. Now, for my basic girls, the ones who want to wear something so simple and so soft but so pretty, the Estate collection, that is for you. It's also described here as beauty with a purpose, and let me tell you why. The shades that go with it are Angel's Landing, Stay Golden, Cupcake, and Philly. And the purchase of Angel's Landing and Stay Golden are part of our philanthropic program for foster children that are moving from foster care and are starting to integrate back into society. So any of the proceeds from Angel's Landing and Stay Golden go towards that initiative. So how cool is that? Now let me get you some swatches. So I've decided today that I am gonna use the Manor collection for today's eye look. So here I have it swatched for you, and we have Butterscotch, Bright Eyes, Zion, and Drift. And I swatched them in this order because this is typically how I look at a color story and decide what is gonna go where on the eyes. I'm typically looking for what is the medium tone matte shade. That's the shade that I'm going to apply first on the eye, and that right here would be Butterscotch. Then I like to apply something that is either lighter or lighter and brighter to the lid, because after I've carved out the eye, now we can use this shade to really pop the eye forward. So this right here is Bright Eyes. Then we're gonna build depth. And for that, I'm gonna use Zion. And all depth is a little bit more of a deepening, a shadowing in the outer corner to really give yourself the illusion of that upturned eye. And then I like to use something soft, if it's in the collection, as an inner corner and under the brow shade. And that's how I like to kind of finalize that look. So I swatched them in that order for you, and that's the order in which we're gonna apply them. So let's do it. While we're applying, I'm gonna talk to you about the brushes that are on sale. These 4 brushes are gonna be discounted at 25% off. So imagine if you're gifting this to somebody, you may pick up a palette, 1 or even 2 of the pre-curated looks, and then any of the brushes that you think that would really help them create an eye look. And who wouldn't love to receive that gift, including yourself, if you're feeling like you may need to gift yourself this Mother's Day. You guys know, if you've been here, this is the line spoolie brush. I use this every day. I've already done my brows, but this is what I use to lift and create that arch so that I have more lid space. I have brows that are typically like hanging down here, so I like to create this curvature with this side, and on the back side, you can use this to fill in the brows with your contour. If you want to create those hair-like strokes, you can use this to line the eye. So this brush I've already used today. Now let's go on to the actual eyeshadow brush. All of our brushes are dual-ended, and that makes them so easy to create like the complete look with the least amount of tools possible. So on this end, we have our light and fluffy side, less dense, great for blending. On this side, we have a smaller pointed side, which is gonna be great for packing on color into smaller areas. This is the brush that I'm gonna start with today. And as I was explaining, I'm going to put some of this onto the top of the brush, my medium tone matte shade, and we are going to start to create our first eye look. Now, as somebody with hooded eyes, make sure you tap off that excess, hooded eyes or not. But if you have hooded eyes, keep your eye open while you start to carve out this top area so that you know when you are looking forward in real life, you're gonna be able to see that actual eyeshadow because you've gotten it up onto that actual base of the hood and not just into the crease of the eye, because that's where your hood comes down. So when people are often saying like, I can't see my eyeshadow because the hood of my eye covers so much of the lid, The key is to use that medium tone matte shade to create that carve out. We're giving almost the illusion of a new eyelid just by getting up. And it is a little bit higher than you're gonna be comfortable with at first, but you just gotta trust the process. From here, I like to take that same shade and press some into the outer corner. I just wanna create continuity on the eye and start working on that depth that I was talking about. Now we're doing these little circular motions and blending this up into that shade, same shade that's up here on the base of the hood. So we pack it on to the outer corner and then we blend. The key to any really seamless eye look, it's all in the blend. Now when it comes to the lid, that's where I like to use something that is lighter and brighter or has some reflection to it, because this carving out of the eye causes that hood to recede. We're gonna use this light and brighter shade to cause this part of the eye to actually pop forward, which is the part where if you have a hooded or a deep set eye is much more difficult to see. Now you can do this in a multitude of ways. I like to use my finger, and that's what I'm gonna do today. However, I also wanted to show you what you can do with one of our other discounted brushes, which is the multitasker brush. My favorite use for this brush is actually for the lips. You'll see it is this flat brush that has a pointed end. I like to use this to line my lips. It's the perfect paddle brush, and then go into something like a lip and cheek, put it on, use it to apply. This is an awesome brush for that. You can even use this to detail. So like, let's say you wanna make sure that your lip line looks crisp and you take some of your highlight shade to clean up those edges, or you want a more defined lip liner, this edge right here will do it. But the other really good use for this when it comes to the eyes is using this flat paddle brush to press on color that you wanna get more impact from on the lid. So if you are somebody that does not like to touch your face when you put on your makeup, the multitasker, flat end, press it on, and now here you can press the pigment onto the lid. Let's say you want even more color payoff. You can spray this brush with a setting spray, then press onto the pigment, and you're going to get like pow. It works amazing. It also works really good if there's a shade that is a little bit lighter when you press it onto the lid and you were hoping that it was gonna have more impact, like for a shimmer shade, using that spray on method is gonna work so well for you. So this is Bright Eyes, and I'm using this to really pop that lid forward. And there we have our first two shades, Butterscotch and Bright Eyes. If you wanna be able to continue to use the same brush in between colors, pick up one of the brush cleaning tiles. This is a half size. We also have a full size, and you can literally just wiggle your brush in there and get any of the pigment that would have blended in with your next shade off, and you're ready to go. So now, step 3, when I create an eyeshadow look, is depth in the outer corner. So for that, I am gonna use our 4th discounted brush, which is the smudge brush. This is a more dense brush. It has one end that is more wide and flat, and one that is more dome. When something is more dense, it picks up more product, which means it's great for packing product on. That's why that flat end of the multitasker brush is great for packing on product, because it is very dense. It helps with less fallout and to get more impact from the color that you wanna see more immediately. Then you can use your blending brush to blend. The other thing that I absolutely love this brush for is for nose contouring. If I had to pick one Seint brush to nose contour with, it would be this one. It is like the perfect shape to create 2 parallel lines down the nose. You can get enough product on without it being too much. You can be precise enough that you're not worried that you're gonna be putting your nose contour in the wrong spot. The smudge brush, all of our brushes are so multi-use, but the smudge brush is definitely up there in my most used, like, multitasking brushes. So now I'm gonna take the original brush that I used and I am going to blend this together. Again, remember, the key to an awesome look is the blend. I don't want any harsh lines where one shade starts and another one stops. I'm gonna go back into my regular mid-tone matte and carve that crease out again. So this is described as our terracotta and golden eye look. And you guys, that's exactly what it is. It is a huge pet peeve of mine when any company, Seint or other, puts out quads that you like struggle to create an eye look, let alone multiple eye looks with. You can get multiple looks from this palette. All 4 of these collections nail the intuitive nature of creating an eye look. I have to give Seint their credit where it is due. We have been asking, one, for new eyeshadows, so hopefully that's coming soon, but also if we're gonna put eyeshadows together, can we make it a affordable quad that makes sense? Like, nailed it. So now I'm gonna go to that smaller end of the eyeshadow brush and I'm just going to dip in, tap, 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 tap off, and I'm going to press this color drift into the outer corner. So I'm going right on this tear duct here to create that little pop. From there, I'm going to go up just to create, see how that brightens that inner corner and creates the illusion of a more open eye? So simple. Makeup is the game of light and dark. It's all about illusions, right? Tapping more under the brow. And now we have a complete look using all 4 shades in one of the many ways that you could use this collection. There are quite a few beautiful 2-shade eyeshadow looks that you can get from this. And now, because I'm filming, the train is coming by. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my apologies. Oh, maybe a little horn beeping. All I'm gonna do is flip over, make sure we have a good blend. And now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna finish the eye look by adding a lower lash line eyeshadow as opposed to an actual eyeliner. You could also use this deepest shade to line the eye. That's absolutely an option too. And in which case, I would use one of our more dense brushes from this and either use the smaller side of the multitasker or this line brush, which if you can see is actually angled for that very reason. You could take one of your pencils or any of your favorite eyeliners and you could line the eye at this time. I'm gonna go into Butterscotch and I'm gonna halo. By doing this, I'm still carving out my lower lash line without it being too harsh. Really dark eyeliner under the eye is a little bit harsh on me. I'll go ahead and make sure that's blended out here. So I like to use this color first and go about 2/3 of the way in, and then this color right here, just in that outer corner to pull together the top and bottom lash line. Now I'm gonna show you a little trick to clean this up to give us a really lifted look. All you wanna do is grab your concealer or your brightening highlight and from the outer corner up to the brow, clean that edge up by tapping a little bit. See how we've created that lift there? It's gonna clean that edge up. So if you got too low, because ideally when we're talking eyeshadow, we wanna keep our eyeshadow from the corner of the brow to the corner of the eye. So when we're doing these little swirling motions here, we can get a little crazy, but it's an easy fix. Just clean that up. There we have it. There's our final look with our first collection. Now let's move on to our second. This right here is the Estate collection. This is the neutral, soft eyeshadow look lover's dream. We have Stay Golden and Angel's Landing, both of which support our foster care foundation. And again, in the order in which I would apply them, medium tone matte shade to carve out the crease. Angel's Landing on the lid to give that pop. Philly in the outer corner to build some depth, and Cupcake under the brow and in the inner corner. Now there are a multitude of ways that you could create looks with these colors. This is just one way following kind of that same pattern if you're looking for some consistency or guidance in how you create a look. Let me show you this up closer here. We have Stay Golden Angel's Landing, Philly, and Cupcake. And you'll see some of these are very well-loved shades for me. Our third collection is the Terrace collection, and this is our pinks and our neutrals, and it's so lovely. So let me show you the swatches here. Starting with our medium tone matte shades, these four are slightly different. We don't have that light and bright inner corner shade, and we have two medium tone matte shades. So you could start with either one of these in the crease of the eye. This is Cafe, and this is Claire. Personally, I like something a little bit more neutral for the crease, so I would start here, and then I would start building outer corner depth with Claire, and I would use a combination of these to line underneath the eye. Then we have On Wednesday, which is a shimmer shade. That would be my lid shade if I'm going for just that simple 4-step routine. And I would end my outer corner with the shade Gilded, which also has a slight kind of foiled shimmer to it. So you'll see we have 2 mattes and 2 shimmers, but even the shimmer effect on them is slightly different. Now, since I didn't break it down on this side, let me come back here. In our first, we have 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. In our second, we have 3 mattes and 1 shimmer. And then in our third, 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. Now let me show you Terrace a little bit more up close so you can see. We have Cafe, Claire, On Wednesday, and Gilded. Last up, we have the Villa collection. This is described as a soft plum neutral eye look, and I agree. As somebody who has used these shades, and 3 of them twice as part of my eye look for a wedding, I love these shades. Starting with our medium tone matte shade, where I would put this is in the crease, and again, start in that outer corner. This is basic. Then we have Soulmate, which is a beautiful, more impactful shimmer that you can put on the lid. Then I would build up the outer corner depth with this very neutral brown, which is called Coco. And I would continue to build up depth, and I would use this as a liner and in the outer corner under the eye if I wanted to kind of manipulate my color to make it look even a little bit more purple. So when you look at these up close, you can kind of see better. This is basic, Soulmate, Coco, which is more brown, and Revival, which is going to have more purple. In this collection, we have 3 matte shades and 1 shimmer shade. Bringing it up close, let me show you. Well-loved shades here as well. Basic, Soulmate, Coco, and Revival. So I need you guys to weigh in. Of the 4, and now I need to look and see, oh my gosh, okay. Of the 4, we have the Villa collection, the Manor collection, the Terrace collection, and the Estate collection. Of the 4, which one is your favorite? Please leave that in a comment down below. And remember, all these swatches and eye looks with all 4 of these will be included in my newsletter coming out within the next couple of days. We are on to our final portion of today's video, but don't go anywhere as a self-proclaimed lip junkie. This is my favorite part. We are talking lip oils. You guys, Seint's lip oil formulation is top notch. These are different than what you are used to in the Seint collection for 2 reasons. 1, they are unscented. I love me a scent in my lip products, but I know a lot of people don't. So to appease the masses, they went unscented this time. But do you notice something as well? Can you tell what the other difference is? Okay, you guessed it. They are more pigmented. They are not just a sheer overlay. They are a lip oil with more pigment in 4 of our most popular lip and cheek colors. So if you are somebody who likes simplicity and you like to pair things, here's what we got. Desert Sunset, Sangria, Nude, and you guys, it's a true nude, and Black Cherry. Starting off with Desert Sunset. You know I'm gonna have to put these on the lips, but I also wanted to show you the swatches. Okay, do you see how much more pigmented that is? The top swatch is the lip oil. The bottom is Desert Sunset Lip and Cheek. These, you guys, I love them. I love our lip oils. I had to open these. Typically I do a first impressions when we have something new. I literally couldn't wait because I love the lip oils and I couldn't wait to see the color and the pigment. That's Desert Sunset. Obviously, you can pair these with a lip liner. You can put them over top of your favorite lipstick. I mean, the world is your oyster when it comes to a lip oil, especially one that remains like hydrating and on the lips. These do have a nice longevity for a lip oil, but when they're pigmented like this, I didn't know I could be so happy over the extension of our lip oil line, but I am. Our second one in this collection is Black Cherry, and it actually looks like it's going to be red. It is like our Black Cherry Lip and Cheek. It is that plum base. So this is Black Cherry Lip Oil, and this is Black Cherry Lip and Cheek. So again, for somebody who likes to pair your blush, see the pigment? Oh, it's so good. This was actually a surprise excitement for me. I love this color, but when I saw it in the tube, I was like, oh, it's gonna be red, and I already love our red. No. It is that berry that is literally like identical to our Black Cherry. This would also be awesome over our Black Cherry lipstick that we had this winter. So that is Black Cherry. I think this is going to be an actual fan favorite because Black Cherry Lip and Cheek is in our like all-time top 10 most purchased and repurchased products from Seint. Okay, next up we have Sangria. Do you know how hard it is for me to swatch lefty? So it's not the most beautiful swatches in the world, but this is Sangria Lip and Cheek. Nope, Sangria Lip Oil. This is Sangria Lip and Cheek, and this is described as your perfect raspberry. So let's get it on for you. And there we have raspberry. Now, I wanted to point something out. On this side versus this side, these two lip and cheeks are gloss formula. This one and Nude are satin formulas. So do you see the difference? How that gloss formula lip and cheek has a little bit more of a sheen to it and typically a little bit less pigment. This is gonna have a little bit more like depth of color, and it's going to have more of a satin matte finish, and that will be the same for Nude as well. While I'm at it, let me show you so you can see the finish like really good on here. This is Desert Sunset. These are our lip and cheeks. This is Black Cherry. This is Sangria, and this is Nude. So two satin formulas that are gonna finish more matte, and two gloss formulas that are going to have that little bit of a glow. Or you can layer them. If you like the most longevity with your blush, layering is one of the ways to do it. Put down one of your satin shades first, and then you can top it with something that is a little bit more sheer and glossy, but it will help hold that pigment onto the face for longer. I have saved my personal most favorite and what I think will be the most favorite, Nude. Here's our pigment. You guys, it's a true nude. I bought two. I know that seems excessive, but if I love something, I want to keep it where I film, and I have to keep one either in my purse, in my car, on my desk at work, and I knew Nude was gonna be it. I love an everyday nude. Now, I would typically use this over top of a lipstick or on its own with a little bit of a lip liner since I don't have a super defined lip, but this shade is fantastic. Again, don't mind my wonky left-handed swatches, but you'll see it is a little bit different. And this is what I mean when I say a true nude. This is Nude lip oil. Perfection. This is Nude lip and cheek. Also gorgeous, but leans a little bit more mauve than the lip oil does. Not right or wrong. This is just the difference between the two. So if you are familiar with Nude lip and cheek, I just wanted you to know that they are going to be a little bit different. But you'll see the matte finishes on these, obviously the oils, versus the gloss finishes on these. So of the four, can you weigh in again? Do it for your girls so I know if there are things that you like, I like to show more of it so you can get more ideas of how to use the products that inspire you most. Desert Sunset, Black Cherry, Sangria, or Nude. Now, before I get my swatches all over my clothes, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna go film lots of pictures for you to include in the newsletter. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you're as excited as I am. If you did, throw this video a like. It really helps out my channel. And if you haven't already considered subscribing, we would love to have you. As a reminder, this release is coming April 30th. The discounted prices on the bundles and the tools last until May 10th or while supplies last. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. It means the world to me, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.